Albert Einstein, born on March 14, 1879, at No. 135 Bahnhofstrasse, Ulm, Germany, to Jewish parents. Einstein graduated from the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich in 1900 and became a Swiss citizen. In 1905, Einstein received a doctorate in physics from the University of Zurich. In 1905, he proposed the photon hypothesis and successfully explained the photoelectric effect, for which he won the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics. In 1905, he established the special theory of relativity, and in 1915, he established the general theory of relativity. He immigrated to the United States in 1933 and worked at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton. He became a U.S. citizen in 1940 while retaining Swiss citizenship. Einstein died in Princeton, New Jersey, USA on April 18, 1955, at the age of 76. In December 1999, Einstein was selected as the Great Man of the Century in the 20th century by Time magazine. Einstein was one of the most important scientists of the 20th century. He published more than 300 scientific papers and 150 non-scientific works throughout his life, and is known as the father of modern physics. His remarkable and original scientific achievements made the word Einstein synonymous with genius. Einstein was not lively when he was a child. He could not speak even when he was more than 3 years old. His parents were worried that he was mute. I took him to the doctor for a checkup. Fortunately, little Einstein is not mute. However, until he was 9 years old, he could not speak very fluently, and every word he spoke had to be thought through laboriously but carefully. In August 1955, 4 months after Einstein's death, element 99 was named Einsteinium to commemorate Einstein's contribution. Asteroid 2001, discovered on March 5, 1373, was named Einstein. Besant's classic quotations are rich in life philosophy. Thence should be read at least once in your life. Implicit in these quotes are his way of thinking and behaving. If you can understand one or two things, it will be a great help in life. Let's go and understand it together. Spend your time reading what others have written. You can easily improve yourself by borrowing the hard work of others. Education is what is left after a person has forgotten everything he learned in school. Don't strive to be a successful person. Strive to be a valuable person. If an idea is not absurd at the outset, it is hopeless. Everyone is gifted. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its entire life thinking it is stupid. A person who never makes a mistake is because he never tries new things. Put your hands on a hot stove for a minute and it can feel like an hour. A full hour sitting next to a beautiful girl felt like a minute. This is the theory of relativity. I never think about the future because it came quickly enough. Weaknesses in attitude become weaknesses in character. Success equals hard work plus the right method plus less empty talk. Human differences arise in spare time. Spare time can make or destroy a person. There is nothing better in this world than to have a few friends who are decent in head and heart. The difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has limits. A person's highest ability is the ability to adapt to the objective world. Breaking people's prejudices is harder than disintegrating an atom. Don't complain about life. It only shows your incompetence. Strong people never complain about life. The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who look on and choose to remain silent. Common sense is the prejudices that a person has accumulated by the age of 18. Imagination is more important than knowledge, because knowledge is limited, but imagination is infinite. It encompasses everything, drives progress, and is the source of human evolution. It's not that I'm smart, it's just that I've been with the problem a little longer. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination can take you anywhere. There is nothing sacred about morality. It is purely human. I have only one criterion for evaluating a person's true value, which is to see how far he has gotten rid of his self, and why he has gotten rid of his self, and why he has gotten rid of his self. Between genius and hard work, I choose the latter without hesitation. She is the midwife of almost every achievement in the world. Life will give you what you want, as long as you keep asking for it, and as long as you speak clearly when you ask for it. What's really valuable is intuition. Intelligence is of little use on the path of discovery. A person's value should be determined by what he contributes, not what he obtains. The general ability to think independently and make independent judgments should always be given top priority. Asking a question is often more important than solving a problem, because solving a problem may only be a mathematical or experimental skill. Raising new questions and new possibilities and looking at old problems from a new perspective require creative imagination and mark real progress in science. People attribute my success to my genius, but in fact my genius is just hard work. Bitterness and sweetness come from the outside world, while strength comes from the heart and comes from one's own efforts. The meaning of time is that nothing can be achieved immediately. Life is like riding a bicycle. If you want to maintain balance, you have to move forward. A happy person is always content with the present and does not waste time thinking about the future. For everything, only love is the best teacher. It is far better than the sense of responsibility. Anyone who takes the truth lightly in small matters cannot be trusted in big matters. The most difficult thing in the world for me to understand is income tax. As soon as we came into the world, society erected a huge question mark in front of us. How do you spend your life? As long as you have something reasonable to do, your life will be particularly beautiful. The goal of the school should be to cultivate individuals who act and think independently, but who should regard serving society as their highest goal in life. The only source of respect for teachers by students lies in the teacher's morality and talent. No matter what the trend of the times and social customs are, people can always rely on their noble qualities to transcend the times and society and follow their own correct path. I don't have any special talents. I just like to get to the bottom of things. If people want to succeed in doing something, they must have a picture in their mind before doing it. I do not believe in a personal God. Happiness comes from living a purposeful life, not from other people or material things. What really interests me is whether God had any other options when he created the world. Any intelligent idiot can make things bigger, more complicated, and more intense. It takes talent and a lot of courage to go in the opposite direction. There are two ways of looking at life. One is that there are no miracles in life, and the other is that everything is a miracle. As long as you don't give up trying, you will never fail. As punishment for my contempt for authority, fate transformed myself into an authority. Sometimes a person pays the highest price for something that he gets for free. Another reason why mathematics has a high reputation is that mathematics enables natural science to achieve theoremization and gives natural science a certain degree of reliability. There is no such thing as luck. Even the most accidental accidents seem to be inevitable. I do believe that in our education, the excessive emphasis on purely intellectual education, often for practical and realistic purposes, has directly led to the detriment of ethical education. Without creative individuals with independent thinking and judgment, the upward development of society is unimaginable. It is not a bad thing, let alone a shame, for a person to take detours and make mistakes on the road of scientific exploration. One must have the courage to admit and correct mistakes in practice. You need to know the essence of the scientific method. Don't listen to what a scientist says to you, but carefully watch what he is doing. All practical knowledge begins and ends with experience. I never regard comfort and happiness as the purpose of life itself. This ethical basis is what I call the ideal of the pig pen. The development of our ideas often stems, in some sense, from curiosity. Anyone who claims to be an authority on truth and knowledge will surely fall under the mockery of God. A person's value to society first depends on how much his feelings, thoughts, and actions contribute to human interests. I absolutely believe that wealth can never make human progress in this world. Science is never ending. It is an eternal mystery. Scientific research is based on the same law that everything is created by natural laws, and this also applies to people's actions. Reality is an illusion, even if it lingers. With the support of a lofty goal, if you work non-stop, even if it is slow, you will definitely achieve success. The value of an individual to society depends first of all on how much his feelings, thoughts, and actions contribute to the advancement of human interests. For everyone, the direction of struggle he can choose is broad. To arouse originality and the joy of learning is the supreme secret for being a teacher. Scientific research dispels superstitions because it encourages people to think and see things in terms of cause and effect. Falling in love is hardly the stupidest thing people do, and gravity isn't to blame. Anyone who no longer has curiosity and a sense of surprise is nothing more than a zombie whose eyes are blurred. Unthinking respect for authority is the greatest enemy of truth. Look deeply into nature, and you will understand everything better. I believe in standardization of cars, but I don't believe in standardization of humans. To learn knowledge, you must be good at thinking, and thinking again. In fact, it is a miracle that modern teaching methods have not completely killed the sacred curiosity of inquiry. The important thing is not to stop asking questions. Curiosity has its reasons. Nature shows us only the tail of the lion, but I have no doubt that the lion belongs to it, even though its huge size does not allow it to be seen at once. If I start paying attention to my appearance, I won't be myself anymore, so what the heck? The purpose of education must be to produce individuals who can act and think independently, and who regard service to society as the most important issue in their lives. Why does no one understand me and everyone likes me? Not everything that is important can be calculated clearly. Not everything that is calculated clearly is important. The value of education is not in memorizing many facts, but in training the brain to think. The most puzzling thing about this world is that it can be understood. To condemn without investigation is the highest form of ignorance. The most wonderful thing we experience is mystery. Truth is something that stands up in the face of experience. Everything should be as simple as possible, but not too simple. Religion without science is lame. Science without religion is blind. He who walks in the footsteps of others will never leave his own footprints. The so-called reality is just an illusion, although this illusion is very persistent. A person who never makes mistakes must have never tried anything new. There are only two things that are infinite: the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not so sure about the former. It only takes 1 second to destroy a civilization, but it takes centuries to create one. For me, the meaning of life is to put yourself in other people's shoes, worry about other people's worries, and enjoy other people's happiness. I am not only a pacifist, but a fighting pacifist. I am determined to fight for peace. I am successful not because I am smart, but because I spend more time thinking about problems. You have to learn the rules of the game so that you can do better than others. Simply put, you have to do two things. First, you must learn the rules of the game you are playing. This doesn't sound like much fun, but it's very important. Second, you have to commit to being better than everyone else at the game. As long as you can do these two things, success will definitely belong to you. It is indeed lucky for a person to be fascinated by his work until his last breath. People who read too many books and use their brains too little will fall into the habit of being too lazy to think. The only reason time exists is so that everything doesn't happen at the same time. What is truly valuable does not come from ambition or a simple sense of duty. It comes from love and concentration for people and objective things. Without some bold and extravagant conjecture, there is generally no progress in knowledge. Without sacrifice, there can never be real progress. The only thing that hinders my learning is my education. A simple and honest life is beneficial to everyone, both physically and mentally. I use a big circle to represent the knowledge I have learned, but there are so many blank spaces outside the circle, which means ignorance to me. And the bigger the circle is, the longer its circumference is, and the larger its contact area with the blank space outside is. It can be seen that there are still many things I don't understand.